Let's start then. First of all, I am Maribel Gomez. I come from the Municipality of Pamplona. I am the responsible of mobility, or sustainable mobility, if we can say. And Alvaro is coming from the, let's say, the supra-municipal public authority, which is in charge of the public transport, which is not only for Pamplona area. It's not a municipal service, but a metropolitan area service. And well, I start speaking only about Pamplona, which is the partner in Stardust and the municipality strategy for sustainable mobility, and for the whole. Well, we have like a framework, which is the main strategy plan in Pamplona, which is the urban strategic plan, and it has the main directive or goal, which is Pamplona green and committed with climate. This is the main point where we frame our strategy in mobility, and especially because the first line of this urban strategic plan is especially Pamplona for a healthy, sustainable, inclusive, and accessible mobility. And this comes, of course, because we have a diagnosis of how well all different sectors are participating in CO2 emissions and energy consumption. And as I think is normal in every city, transportation is the main contributor to the CO2 emissions. In Pamplona is quite important, as you can see here in the scheme. And well, the mobility strategy of the city of Pamplona is considering all these important aspects of mobility, and we put this main thing, the walkability or pedestrian mobility, in the top of the pyramid, because in fact our model split is telling us that pedestrian mobility is the main one in daily life, in daily trips. But we have been losing a little bit of this, as you can see, from almost 44% in 1997 to 42 in 2013, which is well, the last main survey that has been done from in the city. So the tendency is not good, and we have to recover this situation. And well, we have a sustainable mobility plan not for the municipality of Pamplona also, but for the metropolitan area. In fact, the company, the public authority which Alvaro is representing, has been the director of this SUMP. To work about. In the municipality, we are working especially in making the city more walkable, as we want to maintain and recover as much as possible our model split that, as I have said, is based on pedestrian mobility, in fact. And we are doing what we call tactic urbanism or interventions. We use the surface dedicated to cars to make new public and walking space by different strategies that are not expensive, and we can work quick and to get like reduced number of cars or the surface dedicated to cars, and gain space for the pedestrians. We are doing like 3 secondary strategies at the same time. We are providing more space for health security, this in these times of COVID pandemic. And we are also transforming all the pedestrian crossings in the city in order to get more safe crossings for the pedestrian, but also to calm the traffic, because we are in the way to become Pamplona as a 30-kilometer speed limit city. This is a very important goal, and we have to make urban interventions and urban projects to really become this a reality, because as we know, to have this goal only in papers or only in signals is not efficient enough. And we are also lengthening pedestrian boulevards. We have some important ones in Pamplona, but we need to make like a network of these pedestrian boulevards and become bigger. These are examples of the tactic interventions that we are doing to gain space from cars and make it new space for pedestrians, which is interesting, as in this example, to calm the traffic, to make the crossings more or less wide, and to provide a space outside the pedestrian sites for the sanitary distance, and also for making stances apart from the walking corridors, we can say. About mobility by bicycle, we are also, I think the pandemic has, we can say, accelerate projects that we already have in mind or in paper, and we have made almost 4 kilometers of new bike lines in the city. All of this in blue, which are in main streets for traffic, for cars, and also ones in here making by these strategies of urban tactic urbanism, which are not in the map, but you can say now in the pictures. This is one of the bike lines that has been created in summer, very quick, in main boulevards for cars, and gaining space for the cars and for the parking space. These lines, bike lines, were before parking space for the cars. And this other one on the right side is one of the intervention in not in the central area of the city, but in other neighborhoods that has been also gaining space for the walking space, where before we have car space. Just by painting and using different quick and not expensive civil works, you can say. We also have improved the safe parking space for the bicycles. We have two working lines. One is the parking space in this model or prefabricate models that are placed strategically in the city. Here you can have an example nearby the bus intercity station. And we are also providing a space for the bicycles in the neighborhoods, only for people who is living in neighbors that have dwellings that has no space for bicycle, and so we provide this as a public service for the people to keep safety their bicycles. And as I said before, the public transport in Pamplona is not for the municipality; it's for the whole metropolitan area, and is in charge of the supramunicipal public authority that Alvaro is representing. So I gave him the voice to speak now.
Thank you, Maribel. Good morning to everybody. Well, really, we are in charge of the public transport in all the metropolitan area of Pamplona. We are 70 municipalities and 370,000 people. And our organization is a public organization. It's committed with the to be net carbon neutral in 2030. In this moment, we have more or less 15,000 CO2 tons emissions in 2019, and really we have to change all of our fleet of public transport to reach this important objective in only 10 years. Our goals is to change our fleet up to 70%, 100 buses operating with biomethane, which is going to be obtained from the digestion of organic material from the wastewater and the municipality solid urban waste, and the rest of the 30% fleet, 50 buses more or less, they will be fully electric, operating with electricity from our own hydroelectric power plants. Maribel, you can change the. Well, at the moment, and it's part of the Stardust project, we have the one full electric line of buses in Pamplona. It was the first full electric bus line in Spain, beginning in March 2019, and it has 13 kilometers long, 6 buses and 2 pantographs. Inside the Stardust project, we are going to monitoring this line, obtain a very important number of figures about energy balance, economic balance, buses operation, pantograph operations, battery operations, incidence of the line, and speed and passengers transported. Is our participation in this project, and in the future we are going to begin the change of all our fleet in 2022, beginning with biomethane buses, and to implement more electric buses at the end of the year. For me, is this part of the presentation. Maribel, you can continue if you want.
Thank you, Alvaro. Thank you very much. Okay, we are also taking into account the urban logistics in the framework of Stardust project. We have promote sustainable last mile logistics, and one of the projects that we have helped to launch it's Cartedu. It's how it's called, a collaboration agreement between Correos, which is a national post company in Spain, and Bectalia. Bectalia is a company of transportation and logistics that is now managing the bus station for intercity buses in Pamplona, the one I have placed before in the picture with the secure bicycle parking space. and well, it's running from September. We start with this project in the European Mobility Week, and it's making about 70 deliveries by day with this electric motorcycle. And well, it's a pilot project which is going to be running for 6 months, and it's now in the way of increasing the number of motorcycles and so on. And about the electrification of transportation or transport, we are running different strategies. Main of them is creating a network of electric bicycle charging points in Pamplona, which is also in the frame of Stardust projects, and we have already make a competition, and companies have presented their projects, and now there is one who have win the contest, the competition, and is doing the installation of this. We also promote the electric bicycles, cars or vehicles by taxes, by providing advantage in the parking space, only for cars that are zero emissions, like pure electric cars. And we are also in the way of the electrification of the municipal fleet. This is the picture of one of the cars of the municipality, 100% electric, which is well, it's a picture of an encounter that we organized also in the European Mobility Week. It was in the part of the picture that is not shown. There were private cars that their owners wanted to be there and to explain directly to potential new owners of electric cars how things are with these cars, and it was very positive, I think. And we are also in the context of Stardust have created this photovoltaic installation in the cover of the bus station as well, which is getting electricity to feed this charging point, which is in the station, and is providing charging for electric cars, especially for the taxis, which are they have a main stop here in the station, but also for particular owners of electric cars. And this is a very fast charging point. And in the other contract, we have also we are going to display 6 very fast charging points that cars can be charged in half an hour, apart from other not so fast charging points that in total are 26. We are also increasing the intelligent and communication technology applied to mobility. We use, for instance, technology to make traffic flow studies. We have been studying an important change in the city in a sustainable corridor that we need to really know how cars are moving, and we have placed these little things in different posts of the corridor to find out by getting the identification number of the cars and the movements, how they are doing, to see how we can act to become this a not so traffic dense space. We are also doing an audit of the cycling network by using technologies and the bicycle parking management. The secure parking space for the bicycles are run by a mobile application that is useful for the users and also for the managers who can have statistics and so on. This is an example of how we are studying the flows of the traffic by knowing how cars are going in different situations. And this is an example of how we are doing the audit of the cycling networks, explaining in a software application the things that has to be improved. We are also doing communication, education, and social cooperation. We put some effort in social measures because we think it's very important, and especially dedicating time and budget to communication campaigns, to educational programs. We have a biking school that is working quite well, and it's not only for kids. We have an educational program especially specific for schools, but also for adults, which is especially interesting for women who really want to have this independence of going by bicycle. And we cooperate with the stakeholders and with the society. As municipality, we cooperate with the supra-municipal public authority that Alvaro represents, of course, to provide advantage for the public transport and other issues. And also we cooperate with people, like by discussing the projects and debating and having also the feedback of what we do is okay or it's not okay. This is a campaign that we made after the time that the pandemic was heaviest and we have to stay at home. When we could go out again in summer, in June, we make this is a traduction of what you can see here. It says, "We are free, now that we are back on the street, don't lock yourself in your car. Move walking or cycling." This was quite important, and we make some good effort on not going back to the situation where city were full of cars and air quality was less good than it was during the pandemic. This is a picture of the biking school for scholar, and in one of the new main bike lines, which are still in making improvements. And this is a discussion with people of the neighborhood where we have done one of these operations by getting the space from cars to the public, to the walking space. And this is all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Maribel and Alvaro, for this presentation. It has been very, very interesting. And if there are any questions from the audience or the floor cities, please don't hesitate. Maybe I have a question. You said that you did quite a lot of citizen engagement activities before the COVID started, like meeting with people, etc. How did the COVID influence these citizen engagement activities that you used to do? And do you maybe do now some online engagement activities or some activities, for example, to shift the behavior of people towards mobility, etc.? Or have you stopped completely engaging with people?
I was trying to see if Alvaro was going to stay, or because he told me in advance that he might have to leave because he had another meeting that it was important, and well, he's actually gone, and we are sorry for that. And well, if you were asking me about the pandemic, or if the COVID has been an influence on the sustainable mobility apply of politics, well, everything was already planned, but it's true that we might have to accelerate some projects, especially to provide bike lines to make people have alternatives where when they need to keep going to work, and the public transport service was reduced, and also to make wider the pedestrian space. And I think we have run more than maybe we would have done it without this situation.
All right, thank you. And there's Anna from Tampere asking if the biking school meant for people who can't drive a bike, or is it for those who do not know the regulations? Is it common that kids or adults do not know how to drive a bike?
Well, it's not to learn how to drive the bike. Is absolutely normal that at least kids know how to drive a bike. But what they don't know is how to drive the bike in the city, okay, in a traffic normal situation. So that's why we have a program which is progressive. They start having like a theoretical class or workshop. After that, they have a workshop in the space of the school, but where they make gymnastics and so on, to provide the ability that they all have. And when the monitors or the teachers are sure that this is their abilities are good enough, they go on the street, and on the street they learn how to behave when they have to cross a car street, or where they have to, and also how to behave with the pedestrians, which is also important to show them how to be respectful with them. Other thing is the school for adults, because it's true that some people, and especially women of medium or even higher age, could have not been trained in their childhood. So they need to do something more specific to start.
Thank you very much. Anna says that they have a similar system in Tampere because too many people put themselves and others in danger by ignoring the rules. So it's important to remind and teach people of those rules. All right, maybe one last question from my side. What sort of funding sources do you use for these different projects? Does it usually come from national sources or regional sources, or is it a mixture of national, regional, and European sources?
Sorry, I haven't heard you well. Yeah. Sorry.
Yes, sorry. I was asking what sort of funding sources do you use for funding these mobility projects? Because you've done quite a lot and you have quite ambitious objectives until 2030. So what sort of funding do you use? Does it come from regional or national or European sources, or is it a mixture of different funding sources?
Well, actually, all of the projects that I have shown on the pictures are municipal projects. I mean, they are plan on the municipal budget. It is not easy because, of course, there are different political groups, and we have to agree what to do. But for luck, we have had possibilities. The mobility services include in an area that is called strategic projects, civil works and mobility and sustainability. Is quite a big area in the municipality, and it's a very executive area. So we actually have budget to make the intervention in the city. So, well, there are not enough for everything that we would like to do, but we can make steps. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. So I guess there are no other questions yet. Anna.